these skits. They're so much fun and a great way to show incoming students and their guests about college life at St. Thomas.
I agree, but can I say something crazy?
I like crazy.
You know it's huge right now and people would love.
What?
Frozen! Oh, come on, Holly. It'd be great. Everyone here would love it. Let's just sing a song. Listen. The walls glow white in my room tonight.
Tim, no. This is orientation and registration. This is important stuff. We can't just break into song.
Let me go! Let me go!
Tim, stop. We don't have time. We need to move on.
Fine.
Before I knew it.
Before I knew it.
Before I knew it.
Before I knew it.
I was there.
We were there.
She was there.
He was there.
We pulled up in the car, and suddenly we went from journey to arrival. I couldn't believe we were here.
I could not believe we were here. In high school, I had 2 buildings connected by a tunnel. Now I had a campus map. In high school, I had teachers, not professors, let alone doctors. Since when do doctors teach philosophy? I thought they took your blood pressure.
I couldn't believe we were here. I looked over at my son, sitting in the front seat, and suddenly, I wondered what he was doing there. I wanted to say to him, buddy, you know better. Get in the back, in your car seat, where you won't get hurt. My son jumped out of the car, and suddenly, it was me who knew better.
Everyone says college is the best 4 years of your life,
Everyone says it.
which is a lot of pressure.
Kind of like, only you can prevent forest fires. Only me? Yikes.
So I was ready to start compiling the experiences that would fit the best years categories.
The thought of no one telling me what to do, where to go, what to wear, it's a pretty cool thought.
Even if that meant I had no idea what came next. Sometimes I was a bit afraid to leave my room, and I would wear the same jeans and t-shirt all week.
Not to mention underwear. That's what lavender Febreze is for, right?
Who said anything about underwear?
Or eating cold cheese pizza off the radiator
Or staying out so late I never even made it to bed.
and having no one tell you,
I'm very disappointed in you. Was kind of appealing. Of course, I didn't have the stomach ache yet.
But it was the thought of it. At this point, the thought of staying up late, cramming for midterms, chugging Red Bull, sticking my head into the snowbank just so I could continue reading the text.
Was kind of appealing. Of course, I didn't know yet that cramming and staying up all night are poor study skills, that Red Bull gives you gut rot, and sleeping through my midterm exam, well, that wouldn't really help my grade.
But college. This was the first day of the very best years of my life. It was the thought of it, the pure and utter thought of it, that excited the heck out of me.
So I joined my daughters. We walked into a new residence hall, and we were greeted by a young man who was there to help us move in. But as I watched her walk up, I saw him give her one of those looks that teenage boys often give teenage girls. And I made a note to inform him discreetly that if he laid one finger on my daughter, he would have me to talk to. But as I watched her flirt back, reality hit. I had to be practical. There were more than 3,000 men on this campus. So I made a mental note to extend my hotel reservation, because it was going to take days to talk to every one of them.
There's a moment you realize that you, as a human being, are simply potential.
That's the feeling I had looking up at the arches, walking my first day of class.
All potential. Major? Not yet decided.
Roommate, barely known.
Love life? Not yet pursued.
Job, at least 3 years away. And just to relieve any extra pressure, then there's
Graduate school. But for now, we start from scratch.
You hope you taught them something.
You realize you know nothing.
Thank goodness you've given them some values to hold on to.
You throw away everything you once held on to.
You hope they feel they can lean on you.
You need no one. Suddenly, I realized my whole life as I knew it was just beginning.
Suddenly, I realized my whole life as I knew it was ending.
All potential. I could fail, or I could succeed.
What waits for me? The great professor that will become my life mentor? Is the degree that will lead to my career, my life's work? Is the person I'm going to spend my entire life with unloading boxes, just like me? My parents met at school, but they just grabbed anyone, probably not very selective.
So as we moved the last of the boxes into my daughter's new room, her resident advisor came in and said, "Welcome to your new home." But I was struck like a slap in the face. Home? No. This was a cinder block 12 by 12 square, a room, a cubicle, not home. But then I watched her say thanks and begin to take her entire life and put it on her cinder block walls. Her favorite posters, pictures of her dog, the medal she won in track, and then a photo of me. And I think that was the first time I realized that she wasn't coming back with us. This wasn't just another campus visit. Those were fun, but we always came home afterwards.
I kept thinking about how much I had planned for this day. How much I wanted my son to go to college. I thought of the money we'd put away every month since the mid-90s. How he would get a savings bond on his birthday and feel so ripped off because it went straight to his college fund. How we had sacrificed. For this moment, I wanted my money back. I wanted him to take classes online. He could still become a veterinarian. It says so, right in the commercials. But really, I didn't want my money back. I wanted my son back.
I took a deep breath and went back to my car.
There she goes.
I think he'll be okay.
I hope I wasn't too hard on her.
I mean, he isn't too bad.
I hope she knows how much I'll miss her.
I hope he knows I do know how much he loves me.
I hope she realizes how much I love her.
I hope he knows I'm grateful for everything he's done.
Maybe I should tell her. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Dad,
I just wanted to say thanks
for everything you've done,
and let you know that I love you.
because you've let me become the person I am to become.
Tommies are better than Johnnies. Dr. Sullivan, don't you think that's true?
Tim!
School.
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 Yeah, it's
going
going great. I mean, it was different.
In the beginning. On the first day of class, my alarm went off, and I hit the snooze button, like I always do. And I sat back and waited for the first, and the second, and the final, absolutely, this is it, wake up right now shouts from my mom. But there were no shouts, and there was no mom. That was a little bit different.
So, like, I don't know a soul here. All of my friends are 16 hours away. I have to spend the year living with some purple-haired diva with 2 nose rings. But I have started to think that maybe I would look pretty good with purple hair and nose rings. But on top of that, I have to take a math class, even though I'm an English major. That was a little bit different.
So let me get this straight. You can't wash whites with colors. You can't wash darks with lights. You have to do brights in cold water. Huh, Mom, I had no clue what a genius you were all these years. I mean, I put one red sock with a lot of whites, and now my underwear is pink. Who knew? That was a little bit different.
I logged on to Twitter this morning like I always do, and I was shocked to see that my mom had requested to follow me. I just had to click the decline button before the retweets, favorites, and hashtagging hashtags started. That was a little bit different.
I live in a 12-foot by 12-foot square room with a TV so big, it barely fits through the door.
I live in a 12-foot by 12-foot square room, and even if they'd let me, I don't think I could bring my dog because there just isn't enough space. So let me get this right. I'm living in a room that's too small for a dog.
I shower and go to the bathroom in group settings.
I recently invested in a pair of soundproof headphones to drown out my roommate and her partner's mushy conversations.
No, you hang up first.
No, you!
No, you!
Just hang up already!
So I only listen to music from bands with bizarre names that no one's ever heard of before.
You saw Arctic Monkeys and Adele Dazeem in the same weekend. I'm so jealous.
I wear Birkenstock socks.
I tried vegetarianism just for kicks.
So me and 10 of my friends went out last week and got our tongues pierced because we wanted to make a statement about being individuals.
School.
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 Yeah. It's going great.
At 4:30 in the morning, when you're hungry, there's nothing better than Taco Bell.
At 4:30 in the morning, when you're hungry, there's nothing open but Taco Bell.
At 4:30 in the morning, when you're hungry, you'd even lick the wrappers from Taco Bell.
When I'm cramming for a test, I will do anything to stay awake.
I've drank Mountain Dew.
I've chugged Red Bull.
Made coffee.
I've eaten coffee.
School?
School.
School?
School?
Yeah, it's going great.
I mean, it's different. I'm different.
And even though my life might be changing right before my eyes,
I feel as if I'm finally realizing who I am.
You see, everyone has their own goals, their own dreams, and their own passions.
And some of us are still figuring it out.
It's different now that I'm at college.
but to be honest, I think I kind of like it.
School?
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 School? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
going great.
What, Tim?
Oh, no. This time, I've got a joke for you.
All right, go for it.
It's a knock joke.
Okay.
Do you want to be a Tommie? Come on, what do you say?
Leo.
We'll eat lunch in the view, join a club or two, wear purple every day. Okay, bye.
Before I knew it, I had been there.
She had been there.
Almost a year. It's amazing what you can learn in a year. I learned I don't have it all figured out yet. It's okay not to know. Okay to be a little unsure.
I learned I didn't have to do it all at once, that there will always be parties and that there will always be chances of a lifetime.
I learned I have the ability to stay up until 5 a.m. when I need to and go to bed at 10 p.m. when I need to.
I learned that I can set the alarm, get up at 3 a.m., start writing a paper, get it done, and hand it in for my 11 o'clock class, but it won't be a very good paper.
I learned being positive, honest, and real is attractive. I learned it's easier to just be me than trying to remember who I am when pretending to be someone else.
As a first-year student, I learned to remember that when a junior starts hitting on me, that he's probably already been turned down by 2 whole classes before I even got here.
I learned that letting go is hard, but not impossible. We visited Katie a couple times at school. It was fun. She has a whole life there, and it was cool to see her in her element. She's been home a couple times as well. That was a bit odd. See her sitting in the living room at 9 at night and saying, "Oh, I didn't know you were staying in tonight," just to find out that it was too early to leave. She came home for 3 weeks at Christmas, and by the end of 2, she was ready to go back. That's where her life was. But we got a chuckle when all on the same day she said, "You have to understand, I don't live here anymore, and what'd you do to my room?"
It's amazing what you can learn in a year. Can I tell you, I really think I belong here, and more emphasis on the me than the here, because it is I who have made the adjustment. I was so vulnerable when I arrived.
You know how everyone says that you find what's most important to you when you're in college? I did. What surprised me was it was my faith.
In the beginning, I asked everyone else for everything. What are we doing this weekend? What should I wear? What do you think about this? How did I feel? I never asked myself. I figured, what did I know?
It's funny because I forgot that there's a saint in St. Thomas. It's kind of like the in the University of Minnesota. All the saint meant was that the school is going to be smaller and more expensive, which is funny because most of the saints were poor and pretty large.
But you know what? I know quite a bit. I'm a lot smarter than I thought, and stronger. I don't turn to others to ask how I'm doing or what I'm feeling, because it is I who have the answers.
I mean, I always went to church when I was at home with my family, but it wasn't my faith, a personal relationship with God. I had to choose that for myself, not because I had to, not because I should, but because I wanted to.
And the funny part is, the more I believed in myself, the more I felt okay asking for help. That the academic counseling and support center and the counseling center were there for me to use.
That for me, campus ministry is one of the most important aspects of this place.
That there needed to be a self and self-esteem.
That there's a saint in St. Thomas, and it was kind of nice.
I learned that parents can take classes at St. Thomas, so I signed up for one. Katie was supportive, but she told me that if I ever signed up for a class she was in, then we would go to whole new levels of dysfunction. I told her that we were quite content with the old levels.
My entire life is filled with potential, and rather slowly, I'm becoming the person that I'm meant to become.
It's amazing what you can learn in a year. I learned I possessed one of the greatest powers in the world, the power to choose.
That my life is a result of my decisions. It wasn't my family's, it wasn't my professors, it wasn't my friends. It was me.
And as scary as that was, it was also very empowering.
Marianne Williamson once said in a speech, "Perhaps our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Perhaps our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure."
I have the power to choose. I will speak with my heart, even if my voice shakes.
I have the power to choose. When I think to myself, somebody's ought to do something, I will be that somebody.
I have the power to choose because it's my happiness.
It's my future.
It's my life,
and I choose it.
So the other day, I made a cup of coffee and I called Katie. She was in, so we talked for about an hour. I told her about my class, and so when she said, "So Mom, how's school going?" I swear I spit coffee straight across the table. We covered all the usual topics for the day: grades, boys, music, politics, finances, fashion, and then it was time to hang up. She said, "Love you, Mom." And for a moment, I saw a 2-year-old crawling up the stairs. So I told her on the phone what I had told her then. I said, "You can do it, Katie. Mama is so proud of you." We hung up the phone, and it rang again. It was Marge from across the street. She said, "Who have you been talking to? You've been on the phone for a whole hour." And I just said, "Oh, just catching up with a new friend."
We offer to you what was offered to us, opportunity.
An opportunity to imagine your future.
And to not have it all figured out yet.
An opportunity to go where you have never gone before.
And to be a little scared.
To not know what you want to be when you grow up.
And to not grow up within reason.
An opportunity to make new friends.
And hang on to your old ones.
An opportunity to believe in yourself.
And to ask for help.
To build your own values.
And challenge your beliefs.
To make some mistakes.
And then learn from them.
An opportunity to trust your intuition.
And pray for guidance.
This is an opportunity to be
the person you always wanted to be.
And being open to the fact that just for a moment,
just maybe,
you already are.
Books will be read. All-nighters will keep me from going to bed. And I'll be doing whatever Tommie's doing in college. Course work to learn, my financial aid award to earn, and probably a major choice to discern in college. I'll get to join a club or org, or maybe 2 or 3, and find out what the liberal arts mean to me. And I can't wait to see what my new friends will think of me. Just imagine how much cooler I'll be in college. Ba-boo, ba-ba-ba-ba-boo-boo. Theo and philosophy are both so intense. I'll get a tutor. It just makes sense. College is a good time to gain education. At St. Thomas, I'll do more and find my vocation. At St. Thomas, I like to hold on to my dream of watching the Tommies take down the Johnny team. There'll be so much to do, and you all will be there too. When I finally do what Tommie's do in college.
Should I stop him?
Don't you dare.
In college.